So this is an update video I want to kind of keep brief, but it is quite important. I don't think I'll be continuing 3D World, or 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I'm going to unlist all those videos and, kind of have a playlist, that does not count as a full Let's Play, where it's just kind of sitting on the side. And, just so you know, this isn't some split-second decision that I've just made, because I don't enjoy editing it anymore. It's not some split-second decision I've made, because I had to put up with some BS. I've been making a bit of a shift in my priorities and in the type of content I'm making, and this is a very calculated, this is a very important shift, because I am very much close to college, and there's a very specific type of content I don't think will fly when I am in college, and that's Let's Plays. And I'm not like talking like, oh, people are gonna bully me. Oh god, no. I'm talking about how viable it will be to continue recording and uploading content when I'm doing that specific type of content in college. And in a dorm room with multiple people, it's just not feasible to continue doing Let's Plays, because there's a lot of recording that goes into that, a lot of recording time, a lot of continuous recording time, and interruptions are a big freaking deal that cause a lot of headache. Now, what does this have to do with me just scrapping Bowser's Fury entirely and not doing so for Wind Waker? Because Wind Waker will finish. I will finish Wind Waker before I start shifting the style of content I do, at least for the moment. And the reason for that is currently I have one video in my backlog of things to record, or things that I've recorded with Wind Waker. 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, however, I have about 3 to 4 videos. And the reason for this is I was having this issue where my video footage would glitch when I recorded through the Elgato software. And I thought I got that issue fixed on my own accord, and I did this massive celebratory recording session, which was about 3 hours long, meaning I was pretty much, for all intents and purposes, done with Bowser's Fury. And as I've been editing these episodes, episode 3 is the first episode of that recording session, by the way, I've been noticing something. And it's that the glitches get worse and worse as time goes on, and I've checked into the last few, the last 2 hours of footage, because it starts happening about an hour in, and I've looked into the last 2 hours of footage, and it's just not an enjoyable viewing experience. There's so much glitching, and I have to continuously change my audio and keep rearranging it to make sure that it's still in time with gameplay, which doesn't always work because it just doesn't. Like, sometimes it glitches and then I'm still talking, and because I'm recording it through Audacity instead, it doesn't glitch, obviously. There's no glitch. It just works perfectly, and then I'm kind of out of sync, and then I'm not out of sync. It's just like the most awkward, just choppy viewing experience, and it's not worth salvaging at this point. I'm currently working with Elgato support. I've sent them my little support info file, so hopefully I'll have this whole thing sorted and fixed relatively soon. But for now, I'll be recording through OBS. I'll just be using Elgato as an input for OBS, and I'll just be going through it that way. Not necessarily my preferred way to do it, but it'll have to do for Wind Waker. It'll have to get through. And let me just say this right now. With the shift in content I'm going to be doing, because I will be going back to more scripted content in hopes of, first of all, I've said this before, scripted content's just more enjoyable. It's just harder to get out, especially when I'm busy. But, with that shift to scripted content, because it'll just generally fit my college life better, even with that changed living situation, I'm not going to scrap Let's Plays entirely. I guarantee you I'll be going back to them in the future, and I'll definitely be doing, like, blind playthroughs and stuff. I can see that happening, because I don't mind a live stream getting interrupted that much. But, like, Wind Waker is probably going to get redone when the inevitable Switch port comes out, and I hate to say that because it makes it feel like finishing this playthrough is just worthless, and it makes it feel like continuing through with it, and people like actually sitting back and continuing to watch these videos is going to be worthless in the end, because I'll be doing my best to make an infinitely better version of it later. But the more I think about it, my Wind Waker playthrough has been so segmented and so different. Like, there's not a single thing in that playthrough that did not change during its production. The thumbnail changed. The resolution and frame rate changed. My way of capture changed multiple times. My capture card changed. The computer I was recording on changed. My microphone changed. Everything changed. And at this point, if I do Wind Waker later, which I probably will, I just want some form of consistency in the final product. So Wind Waker is something that I'll probably redo eventually, not like soon. That's definitely a far future plan, but it's going to happen. I know the Switch port is inevitable, and I'm gonna look like a real idiot if it just doesn't come out ever. But right now, in my mind, it feels inevitable, and whenever that inevitability happens, I'll be there, thinking about how I can make a probably 100% playthrough of Wind Waker that's just structured, generally better, and has consistency. That's it. That's kind of the update video. So scripted content's on the way. I'm already working on some scripts right now. I'm probably going to be focusing on that for the foreseeable future. I did a little revamp of my channel graphics just because, you know, I have been very iffy on, you know, making this change. I've been thinking about it for a while. Again, this was not some split-second decision where I was like, oh, I think I'll do this, actually, like it was when I initially started doing scripted content. No, but I've been kind of scared to just actually take the first step on this process. And I finally decided, you know what? A journey begins with one step. What is it? Journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step? Let me actually double check that. Yeah, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Cool. I decided to make that first step, changing my visual design. And I've been talking pretty heavily about all of this on Twitter, which isn't particularly necessary, but I'm just, you know, I'm kind of reshaping the channel structure. You'll notice that my homepage is also a little bit different, where I have very heavy emphasis on my video essays and the podcast that I'll probably never pick up again. But never say never. So, you know, I've got ideas, I've got plans in the works, and a lot of those plans are scripted content. I'm really hoping to kind of, you know, make this shift, for now, and, that's kind of where my thought process is. If you're not super happy with that change, I do apologize. I know a lot of people have joined me for, strictly Let's Plays, and I know making this shift, it's a very drastic shift, by the way, is probably not going to please too many people. But it's, I think, the change that I need to not only keep interest, but also to make this whole YouTube thing work in my long-term college plans. Because it's just really weird to be thinking about the fact that I am going to be graduating soon, and I need to think about where I need to go, and I need to think about how my hobbies are going to continue when I go to college, because I don't want my college life to be just socializing and work. I do want downtime, me time, you know, so, I don't know. This was a very off-the-wall update video, very unscripted, but I decided that it was necessary, to talk about this changing plan that I've been talking about on Twitter. It's not something I've talked about on YouTube, is what I'm trying to say, so. Thank you for sitting back, thank you for sitting with me for like these 10 minutes of me rambling. Hopefully this is a change that doesn't get you too sad, too mad, too frustrated. This also isn't going to impact what type of content I watch. I know I watch a lot of Let's Plays as is, and it's definitely going to stay that way, because I think Let's Plays are a super interesting medium of communication and interaction, and I want to keep watching them, and I want to keep doing them eventually, but, you know, we'll see how that turns out. Until my next episode of Wind Waker, because again, I am finishing that series off before I do any scripted content. I'll see you then. watch me make an update video in the next 2 weeks. It's like, this isn't working.